Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anu. I'm a holistic mindset and life coach, and I'm here to remind you that you can be, do, and have absolutely anything that you desire, anything that you want. We all might have come across the phase at some point in our life that if you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. I wanted to start the video by talking about a very famous old Indian parable. It's been mentioned in many various ancient cultures, whether it's ancient Chinese, ancient Japanese culture, Jainism, Buddhism, with little alterations here and there. So a group of blind men were told about a strange creature that they had not experienced before. And this strange creature was an elephant. And these men went to examine the elephant to figure out what exactly is the strange creature. The blind man who touched the trunk of the elephant said it's like a snake. The one who touched the feet said it's like a tree trunk. The one who touched the tail said that the elephant is like a rope. The one who touched the ear of the elephant said it's like a fan. The one who touched the side of the elephant said it's like a wall. The one who touched the tusk said the elephant is sharp like a dagger. So after this, they all got into a debate trying to prove which one of them was true. And this went on for a long time until one man stepped in and said, "You all are right and wrong at the same time, because all together makes up this strange animal called the elephant, so in totality." And then the Rig Veda goes on to mention that reality is one. The wise men speak of it variously. The same parable is also mentioned in Sufism, but just with a little tiny difference, where a Persian Sufi poet called Sanai of Gajni narrated this parable. The moral of the story remains the same, and I would like to mention Rumi, who used the same example to emphasize on the limits of individual perception. And he says the central eye is just like the palm of the hand. The palm has not the means of covering the whole of the beast. So we can say that reality is relative to one's own perspective. And your perspective is based on your beliefs and your values, which brings to a beautiful topic that I love talking about: confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is interpretation of reality to confirm your existing beliefs or values. So we also use this to recall our past information or past experience. We have our sets of belief, our sets of values, what we hold to be true. And we don't just automatically get it or inherit it. Some of them, of course, has been passed on to us. But a lot of it we also observed in our environment, our societal situations, our upbringing, the kind of caretaking we've received. Everything in totality makes up your belief system. So let's say your childhood, the kind of house you grew up in, your financial situations when you're growing up, everything is your belief system. And through this, we kind of develop a lens. And through this lens, we perceive our reality. Let's just say, for example, there's a person who's just experienced financial crisis or financial struggle growing up and watched it in the surrounding. So this person is wearing a lens where in this person's reality, finances are difficult. The same thing you can apply for love. Your initial relationships, what kind of relationships you grew up looking at, were they difficult, were they strenuous? And then you put on a lens unknowingly, without being aware of it, that relationships are difficult when it comes to growing up in an environment where cheating happened. So what happened? You encounter partners who cheat. You encounter friends who leave you. That is confirmation bias. So reality has different facets, like the elephant. But it is up to us which part of the elephant we are experiencing based on our beliefs. And the mind is such a tricky thing that it's going to show you and prove to you why your beliefs are true by giving you absolute, clear, set examples. But this also then talks about the theory of duality. Where there's good, there has to be bad. Where there's light, there has to be dark. So if you are observing or experiencing darkness, it doesn't mean that light doesn't exist. So if you are experiencing daytime in your reality, it doesn't mean that nighttime does not exist at all. It is still night somewhere. You just don't experience it in your reality. Use confirmation bias to also understand astrology, for instance, a very big topic. And I was into astrology, so I can tell you, I was so sure that I could meet a person and tell you what is this person's zodiac sign. And most of the times I was correct, because again, certain qualities that we have assigned to a certain zodiac sign is also a confirmation bias. The same thing goes to a lot of aspects in society. And this is the part where you have to understand if you're suffering in your reality. Most of the times it's not even true. You're suffering because you choose to see the reality where suffering exists. What happens when we have our initial relationships and we experience heartbreak? We draw a conclusion in our minds that love is painful. Love leads to heartbreak. And what do? We shield ourselves from experiencing that again. And even if you would have the desire to experience love again, and let's say you start dating or something, but you've not changed your belief, you're still having the confirmation bias that relationships don't work for you. And guess what that experience of dating is going to be like if you do not change your belief system. I've made a separate video on beliefs. Please go watch it if you find this interesting, this topic. Let's talk about the concept of reality being a mirror. We've heard that plenty of times, that the world is just a mirror, your reality is just a mirror, blah, blah, blah. What does it actually mean? Every individual has its experience, has its own experience, right? Because everyone has a different past, a different upbringing, different societal situation, different family situation, different relationship to siblings, or if they're single, child, blah, blah, blah. And then every individual has its own reality. And when you say that the world is just a mirror, your reality is just a mirror, it means it's going to reflect back what you believe. So coming back to the confirmation bias, it's just going to show you what you believe to be true. Imagine, for instance, you put on the most unflattering fitting clothes you could ever think of, and the color that repels you. And you put on this piece of clothing and you stand in front of the mirror. You do not like your reflection. And what you do is you go and break this mirror because you do not like the reflection. And then you decide, okay, you know what? Now I need a mirror, so I'm going to go buy another one online. You've done it. You've gotten another mirror from IKEA. You've put it up and then you see, oh my God, this reflection is hideous. You break that one. And then after some point you realize, okay, maybe I need a mirror. This time I'm going to get the best antique one from France with Baroque. You get it. And it shows you the same reflection. And you break that one as well. Over the period of time, you go out propagating that mirrors are bad. Because mirrors show you the most hideous reflection of you in the most unflattering clothes, in the most hideous color that you do not like. Instead of breaking the mirror and complaining and crying, you can just change into the clothes that flatter you, clothes that you like. The same thing, these clothes are our beliefs. We tend to blame the mirror, break the mirror, go on and saying that mirrors are not good, but we don't take the personal accountability and say, okay, I do not like the clothes that I wear, so I'm going to change it, the clothes being your belief system. There's no blaming, shaming, or bringing somebody down, or blaming our parents, the ones who brought us up, our caregivers, our society, our relationships in the past. We are not here to do that. The past is the past. And here we take accountability. We are aware of what we have right now, the present moment. And then we go forward with all this information, because all of this, you can either look at it as very painful truth, or you can use it as an arsenal that with this information, now we can make better choices. So I know if I've experienced pain in my past relationships, it's my confirmation bias because of the past pain that I had or the initial pains that I had. And now if I want a fulfilling relationship, I need to work on my belief system. I need to change my belief system. I need to bring a different set of clothing. Confirmation bias can also be called self-fulfilling prophecy. And a very good example could be people with failed marriages over a period of time can prove you why marriages do not work. People who've had a bad past, let's say they've been bad with friendships, will always give you examples and proof why they do not trust anyone and why you shouldn't trust anyone because their friends betrayed them in the past. And over the period of time, you'll notice that your beliefs do come true. Whatever is your core belief does come true because, like I said, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It doesn't mean that there was just betrayal and pain and agony in your reality. There were different other aspects as well. But you go with your bias and you pick up just the pain, just the betrayal, just the agony, because that is what I experienced in the past. And you do this in a very automatic way. I'm not saying that you go out and you just attract people who betray you or you just attract people who are not interested in you. You do it in a very automatic way. And that's why it's important to be aware. That's where the power of awareness lies. And if you take quantum physics, this is also so beautiful because they talk about the wave particle theory. And look it up if you want. It's quite interesting, the study. And this is the only point in quantum physics where scientists are baffled and they are kind of not putting anything in a concrete way because any quantum entity can act as a wave or a particle depending on the observation. What I want you to take from this video is to remember, and I think in spirituality this has been mentioned quite a lot, that reality is just an illusion. And what is an illusion? Illusion is when you watch a magic trick. You call that an illusion because it's not completely true. Remember the parable of the elephant. There's not one set reality. We have our own reality, our own experience, and we hold that to be true and we take it to our graves, which is just a waste of life. You cannot change your reality without changing yourself. You cannot change your reality without changing your beliefs, without changing your values. Remember that everything is here right now in front of you. Everything. The partner that you fight with, the husband that is not helping you out, also has a different version, but you choose to see the version of your husband who doesn't help you out. And this is a hard pill to swallow. That's where we work on the past belief system and everything. And trust me, people have made it sound so scary and so tedious. There's a huge rocky road ahead, and this is what I need to work on. It's not required. It is just intention. The most beautiful thing I can say out of my experience is once you shift your belief system, you change your belief system, you look back in the past and you will see even your memories are different, even your experiences are different. And that's the entire point, because we are evolving constantly. And this is where I truly admire Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, where he talks about your memories not even being true, because you have to keep in mind, if reality is an illusion, if reality is very personal, based on our lens, on which lens we are watching reality through, we've done the same thing in the past. That means everything that we hold so dearly, we wear all of that as a badge. Our memories are not completely true. We have picked up a certain part of our experience and we store it in our brain. We store it, we hold on to it, we keep repeating it again and again and again and make it so solid, so vivid. We are mostly living in the past and suffering from something, first of all, that doesn't exist. The past is not here, but also something that cannot be true completely. This explains the entire idea of why certain people say that I'm willing to change, I'm willing to be a different person and have a different experience, but I keep failing and I keep suffering because your focus is still your old story. Your focus is still the person who was hurt in the past. You still remember it so clearly. You have to know whatever you perceive with your senses cannot be the totality of the reality. We are spoiled by our five senses. And I can give you another example. If I were to take any object, just take any object in front of you, and it's absolutely clean and there's no speck of dust or anything, in your reality, that's clean. But at the same time, if you put it under the microscope, you'll still find things that's not visible to your naked eye. And that's where I say there's always possibility of change if you learn how to trust and you humble your ego a little bit, that the world is not exactly how you thought it to be. The world cannot be everything that you know, because there are different facets. The same way there are different facets of people, there are different versions of people. You encounter the versions of people what you want to experience, and what you want to experience is highly and extremely dependent on your belief system. What exactly happens when we decide that we want to change to see what we experience in our reality, to experience a different reality? We need to work on ourselves. We don't go out breaking the mirror. Like I said, the world is just a reflection. You want to experience love, you have to be love. You want to experience abundance, you have to be abundant. And these are just simple things that we have gotten very far away from, because our day and age, we have all the information. You'll have all the knowledge about red flags and do this and don't do that, and these are the traits that you need to avoid when you see it in a person that you're dating. We are getting consumed and brainwashed on such a subtle level. We don't even realize, and then we complain, why are we unhappy? We've built walls around us. You do not need all of that information. The only information that you need, the only thing that you need to know is everything that's within you. Study yourself, put yourself under the microscope, decipher yourself. That's the only thing you need to do. Understand your patterns, understand your behaviors, understand your belief system, understand why certain things keep repeating in my life, understand what part of me is attracting all of these things. And again, I'm not saying creating, because we've misunderstood that term completely. We are not creating anything, the creation is done. We get to pick and choose what we want from this infinite pool of possibilities. And when I say infinite, every version, everything that you can imagine of everything, everyone exists because creation is done. In your reality, if you want to experience it, you have to change the way you look at it. Everything is given to you, it's in front of you. You choose. It's a very simple thing, but people have complicated it too much. Be calm, collective, meditate, reflect, have the capacity and ability to ask yourself these questions. Why? Why am I experiencing this? What do I truly want to experience? And what are the limiting beliefs? Then we work on that. That's all for today. I hope this video was useful and also interesting. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to see you all soon with a new video. I'm sending you lots of love. Bye.